You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. Hello and welcome to Kauffman Field, or Kauffman Stadium. My name's Nicholas Callis. It's an AL Central matchup between the top team in the AL Central, the Minnesota Twins, and the bottom team, the Kansas City Royals. This is game one of a weekend series, and it's coming up next. On the mound for the Royals, Jakob Junis. 1-9 record in 12 starts, hasn't done too well, has an .804 earned run average in 56 innings pitched. I mean, that's just an embodiment of how the Royals have performed this year. They've had some struggles as Max Kepler comes into the box. Definitely a better average at home, but still produces well on the road. 8 home runs and 16 RBIs at other ballparks in Major League Baseball besides Target Field. And overall is a .285 hitter with 15 home runs and 38 RBIs. Here comes the first pitch of the ball game. On the ground right side into the shift. Throw on to first, that's out number one. Nicky Lopez makes the play. And with one quick out, we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Twins, the visitors in this game. A lineup that looks pretty much the same as it did last year, minus a few players. Josh Donaldson now in the lineup. He signed in free agency, and Alex Avila is the starting catcher, batting eighth. Mitch Garver got traded to the Dodgers about a month ago. So Avila, who was the backup, is now the starter. It's inside ball one to Jorge Polanco, switch hitter, batting from the left side. And there's the Royals record, 21-48. Last in the AL Central. And that's one of the worst records in Major League Baseball. They've had a few bright spots on offense, the Royals have. Whit Merrifield still producing. It's for a high average. He's also one of the AL leaders in stolen bases. Adalberto Mondesi's a quick runner. Not that he has a great average, but he's the leader in stolen bases in the American League. Then you have Jorge Soler, who's at 20 home runs now, and he's been a run producer in the middle of the Royals order. So a few bright spots and some prospects that are likely to come up before the season's over. But as a team right now, they're still trying to find their identity. They went from World Series champions in 2015 to having one of the worst records in all of baseball. 3-ball, 1-strike pitch coming to Jorge Polanco. In the air, out toward right field. And the catch is made. That's out number two. That's Hunter Dozier making the play out in right field. Now with 2 outs. In the top of the first inning, Nelson Cruz will come to the plate. Cruz, still one of baseball's best hitters. He's been a run producer for the majority of his career. Made his debut in 2005 with the Brewers. Played with the Rangers from 2006 until 2013. Played for the Orioles in 2014. Was with the Mariners from 2015 to 18, and he's in year 2 of a contract with the Twins. 1-0's down, low counts 2-0. As you saw there on the graphic, Cruz is 4th in RBIs in the American League with 56. He's on a few leaderboards in the American League, as that's fouled off. The count's 2-1. He's tied for 8th best in home runs with 19. As the count's even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and here comes the 2-2 pitch. Inside, counts full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Josh Donaldson would bat next. Here comes Jake Junis' full count pitch on the way. Went down after it, grounds it into the shift. Lopez gonna try to make that tough play, but he can't do it. Cruz beats that out. So although Cruz hit it to the left side in the shift, that was a tough play for Lopez to make to the right of second base. And so the Twins have a 2-out base runner, and here comes Josh Donaldson. .313 average with 22 home runs and 57 RBIs. And for a guy who had his health questioned at the end of his Blue Jays career, he's really set that debate to rest. Had a pretty good year with the Braves last season and is having a stellar year here in his first year with the Twins. Counts 1-0. Donaldson playing third allows for Miguel Sano to move to first base. Sano's been starting at first for the majority of the year, so he's not as much of a defensive liability anymore, and he can just focus on doing what he's done well for his career, which is hitting home runs and driving runs in. Of course, Donaldson does the same thing. That's hit out to left center field. That looks like it's going to fall. Gordon running after it as Cruz rounds third. Gordon will get it in, and Cruz is going to try to score. The relay is double clutched. And Cruz is able to score all the way from first base. And an early lead for the Twins. It's 1-0. Well, Kauffman Stadium is a pitcher's ballpark, meaning that there aren't too many home runs hit, but that's one of the issues there when you have runners on base. Is that if a ball is hitting the gaps, the runners are able to advance, and even Cruz is able to make it from first all the way to home on that hit. And 2 outs helped there as well. Allowed Cruz to run no matter what. So now Donaldson's on second base in scoring position. And here's Eddie Rosario, 243 hitter entering play. Has a chance to drive in another run for the Twins. It's an early 1-0 lead. Out to left field, but caught. Stopped from going into left by Adalberto Mondesi at short. And that ends the top of the first. And this is not Eddie Rosario. This is Josh Donaldson, who hit this double that scored Nelson Cruz and gave the Twins a 1-0 lead going to the bottom of the first. Jose Barrios is on the mound for the Twins in this one, and pretty good numbers there. 6-2 record in 14 starts. The ERA a little high, 5.42. He started the year out as the ace of the team. The Twins had some injuries. Rich Hill started the year on the injured list, and Homer Bailey got hurt in the middle of April, but Homer Bailey got activated, as did Rich Hill. They're both in the rotation now for the Twins. The Twins, the only team in baseball right now with 50 wins. The White Sox started the year out as the AL Central leaders, but in time, the Twins got hot. And look at that, they're 50-20. Again, that's the best record, not just in the American League, but in all of baseball. Counts even 1-1. The Twins went 24-5 in the month of May, which allowed them to pass the White Sox. Then the White Sox got cold in June. And the Twins have taken a commanding AL Central lead. 1-2 strike count on Merrifield, but the Twins are in first. The White Sox are in second. 8.5 games back of the Twins for first place. The Royals, who are in last place, are 28.5 games back of the Twins. That's in right field. Max Kepler will field it, but a leadoff single for Whit Merrifield to begin the bottom of the first inning. As I talked about just a bit ago, Whit Merrifield's still one of the best contact hitters in the game, and he's a threat to steal as well. So an advantage for the Royals to get him on to lead off their offensive half of the first. Now here's Adalberto Mondesi. Has struggled in the average department, 202 hitter, 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. He's never been a run producer, but definitely had some good contact numbers in recent years. Mondesi is the league leader in stolen bases with 14. He's in a hitter's count, 2 balls, no strikes. Mondesi, a switch hitter batting from the left side, counts 3-0. Jorge Soler's on deck. Mondesi also tied for second best in triples in the AL with 4. That's a strike, top of the zone, counts 3-1. Mike Matheny, the new manager of the Royals in his first season with them, trying to revitalize this team, a team that struggled in recent years. Ned Yost was just let go. Yost was a manager that was a part of the World Series winning team in 2015. That's strike 3 called over the outside edge. Mondesi didn't love that call, but that's out number 1. Here, you be the judge. Take a look at that in slow motion. 1 out, bottom of the first inning. Here's Jorge Soler, who hit the most home runs last season. You see there on the graphic. Not the leader this year, but he's at 20 home runs as the runner goes. That's a strike over the middle of the plate. Throw down by Avila is late. And Merrifield steals his way into scoring position. Got a decent enough jump and slid in before the tag was applied. Soler behind in the count, 0-1. It's outside, counts even 1-1. Jorge Soler, a former Chicago Cub, but has been recognized the most from playing here in Kansas City. He's been a bright spot in the team's struggles over the years. The recent years, I should say. That ball is gone. Well, the Twins took the lead immediately in the top of the first inning. And now Jorge Soler with a runner on hits a home run that gives the Royals a 2-1 lead. Soler now with 21 home runs on the year. I was going to mention that he's tied for 6th with 20 home runs, but that 21st home run ties him with J.D. Martinez for 5th best in the American League. Here comes Hunter Dozier, 251 hitter with 5 home runs and 29 RBIs entering play as a respectable OPS, 732. Jose Barrios was pitching with an early lead, and he immediately gave it up. Hunter Dozier was one of the top prospects of the Royals. Came up as a third baseman. Didn't get much playing time, though, because when he came up, Mike Moustakas was still the third baseman. But he's played third base, first base, and now venturing into the outfield. He's playing right field, and he's played right field for a good majority of this year. 2-1 pitch. That's down low, counts 3-1, and Barrios struggling slightly early in this one. 3-ball, 1-strike pitch coming. That's fouled off. It looked like an off-speed pitch that leaked over the middle of the plate, but Dozier couldn't get a good piece of it. And that runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Barrios. Pulled on the ground left side. There's Donaldson. Throws to Sano. That's out number 2. And with that, we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Royals. Whit Merrifield no longer playing the middle infield. He is in center field. Something new this season. Jorge Soler, the designated hitter, batting third. He's the one that hit the home run. Hunter Dozier, now the right fielder. We talked about that. Michael Franco was a signing in the offseason, the former Philly, batting 7th in the order. And you saw Salvador Perez not in the lineup. Salvador Perez is on the injured list with some damaged knee cartilage. He just got put on the injured list 4 days ago, so he'll be out for a good month or two. A 1 pitch coming to Ryan O'Hearn. That's upstairs, counts 1-1. So the starting catcher for the Royals in this game is Cam Gallagher. And Nick Deeney, a young catcher on the Royals roster, got called up from AAA after Perez got put on the injured list. Barrios ahead in the count, trying to limit the damage in this inning. 1-ball, 2-strike count on the Royals' first baseman. That misses, counts even 2-2. Got him to chase, and that ends the bottom of the first inning. But the Royals respond immediately to the Twins scoring in the top of the first. Jorge Soler, after Whit Merrifield singled and stole a base, Soler hit this 2-run home run, and the Royals have the lead at the end of 1 inning. We'll go to the second. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Coming into the second inning, the Twins will have their 6, 7, 8 hitters due up. Miguel Sano, Luis Arraez, and Alex Avila. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel to get notifications on when we go live and when we upload videos, such as highlights and our results and standings update, which keep you up to date on your favorite team at the end of every day, even if your team's not featured. That's inside, counts 1-1. We also have a Twitter page, at Virtual MLB's the handle, where we post injury updates, transaction updates, trade updates, and every video we post to YouTube, we also put on Twitter, so you can check that out as well. And also, the schedule is posted in different ways on both the Twitter page and the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel has an upcoming live stream section where you can see if your team's featured if you just go down the list. And there's a schedule posted, a physical schedule posted on Twitter, and it's pinned to the top of our YouTube page or our Twitter page. So you can check them both out to stay most up to date with what's going on in virtual reality. Sano strikes out, and with one out, here comes Luis Arraez, .314 hitter entering play, doing what he did most of last year, hitting for contact, getting on base. One of just a couple of hitters in this Twins order that doesn't hit home runs. Arraez has more of a contact game, but every other player on this Twins team, in this Twins starting lineup, is a home run hitter except for Arraez and Byron Buxton. Arraez lines out to Alex Gordon, and 2 quick outs in the top of the second for Jacob Junis. That'll bring up Alex Avila, the catcher. Avila was once a member of a rival AL Central team, one that was dominant in the early 2010s, the Detroit Tigers. Avila was their starting catcher. He also caught in the 2012 World Series for pitchers like Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer. Diving attempt by Alex Gordon, but he can't make the play, so Avila gets himself on base, and the shift didn't help the Royals in that instance because Gordon had to run against the shift to try to make that play, and although it was a great effort, he can't make it, so Avila's on base. 2 outs, top of the second inning. Here's Byron Buxton. Buxton has struggled to be a consistent hitter, but I'm sure if you know anything about baseball, if you've followed baseball at all, you know that Byron Buxton is one of, if not the fastest player in Major League Baseball. He's a stolen base threat, and he has great range in center field. On the ground right side, there's Nicky Lopez, throws to Ryan O'Hearn, and the top of the second inning is over. The Twins get no runs on a hit and leave 1 runner on base after an inning and a half. It's the Royals 2 and the Twins 1. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up in the Royals order to begin this half inning. Alex Gordon, Maikel Franco, and Cam Gallagher. Alex Gordon's been a lifetime Royal, and he's also played several positions for this team. Played third base, left field, and right field. He came up as more of a third baseman, but has since solidified himself as an outfielder. One of the few members of this team left that won the World Series with the Royals in 2015. He and Salvador Perez, 2 of the only players left from that championship team. Counts 2-1 on Gordon. Two-1 from Barrios on the ground right side. That's played by Sano. Steps on first base himself. That's 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. So with 1 out, Maikel Franco will come up to the plate. Franco, the former third baseman of the Philadelphia Phillies, made his debut in 2014. That's fouled off. The count's 0-1. Franco never had much of a consistent bat when he was in Philadelphia, so trying to start freshly here in Kansas City, a team that needs to put everything together. It's looking to restructure itself. The Phillies are looking to restructure themselves too. But they've just done it in a different way, going out and signing, well, you know all the players they've acquired over the last couple seasons. That's strike 3, out number 2. Berrios now with 3 strikeouts. And that'll bring up Cam Gallagher. We'll take a look at this one more time. And he chased that just a little bit too low for him. So now with 2 outs, here is Cam Gallagher filling in for Salvador Perez, who's on the injured list with some damaged knee cartilage. The official diagnosis. Gallagher hasn't played too much this season, and of course, few players in baseball would ever start over Salvador Perez. That's fouled off. The count quickly 0-2. The Royals, who have already been having a tough season, have lost one of their veterans. It's an important position to have, too, as a veteran catcher that Salvador Perez is. Strike 3. Jose Berrios got him on 3 pitches. Berrios now with 4 strikeouts. And that ends the second inning. No runs on no hits and nobody left on for the Royals after 2 full innings. It's the Royals 2 and the Twins 1. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Top of the 3rd inning coming along, and the top of the order due up for the Twins. Max Kepler, Jorge Polanco, and Nelson Cruz. Kepler's been hot recently. He's hit a triple and 4 doubles, driven in 11 over his last 7 games. Now, with all the big names and all the home run hitters that this Twins team has, there are a couple secret weapons, and Max Kepler is one of them. He belted over 30 home runs last season, and he's a leadoff hitter. Still been producing well this year, has over 20 home runs, as that's hit into right field for a base hit. And I correct myself, let me get you an exact number on how many home runs he has this year, but it's a leadoff single for him, and the Twins have a runner on with nobody out in the 3rd inning. Here's Jorge Polanco. That's strike 1. Max Kepler's at 15 home runs on the year, so still an above-average home run hitter, but not one of the top in the league. But he finished with over 30 last season. One of their secret weapons, as mentioned before, as that's grounded by Polanco. Mondesi steps on the bag and throws to O'Hearn. That's a double play. Kepler out at second, Polanco out at first. 2 quick outs in the top of the 3rd inning, and that double play erases the leadoff base runner that the Twins had on. So with 2 outs, Nelson Cruz coming to the plate to answer the question about the trade deadline. I thought they moved the trade deadline in baseball to August 1st. I don't know if that was just for 1 year that I remember, or if it still is July 31st, but yes, there is a trade deadline in this simulation. I just was under the impression it was August 1st, but it might be July 31st. Counts no balls and a strikeout. Nelson Cruz, the designated hitter of the Twins.
1-1.
He hit an infield single and scored on Josh Donaldson's RBI double. He gave the Twins their first and only run to this point. The Royals took the lead on a 2-run home run by Jorge Soler in the bottom of the 1st inning. Neither team scored in the 2nd. And now here we are with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Chopped on the ground. Played by Junis. Throws to O'Hearn and gets him out just by a step or 2. That ends the top of the 3rd inning. The Twins get no runs on a hit and leave no runners on base after 2.5 innings. It's the Royals 2 and the Twins 1. There's Heidi Watney, and she's going to pull up a graphic now that's going to tell us something important about these 2 teams. Hey, there's the Royals. Yeah. Well, they've had trouble performing every aspect of the game so far. That's why they have one of the worst records in Major League Baseball. It might be the worst record in Major League Baseball, too, but see, they're their offensive categories as a team among the last in the league. It's just been a tough year for the Royals. They're definitely heading toward the valley of where they're going to be in recent years, or where they've been in recent years, and where they plan to be. They're in a rebuilding phase. I don't know why I tried to say it in such a strange way, but they're in rebuild mode. A team that had some success in 2014 and 15, then had some poor years from 2016 until now, really. There's Byron Buxton. He makes the catch. That's out number 1. It's just been a tough few years for the Royals, and it appears unless anything changes, they're going to be at their rock bottom this year. But here's the standings visualized for you. The Twins, the only team in baseball right now with 50 wins. And the Royals with one of the worst records in baseball. You see them at the bottom, 21-48. But back to the top of the order for the Royals. Here's Whit Merrifield. He singled, stole a base, and scored on Jorge Soler's 2-run home run. That's strike 1. So we are looking at polar opposites right now. The Twins in first, and they have the best record in baseball, and the Royals in last place, and they have nearly the worst record in Major League Baseball. But the Royals on top of this game, 2-1's the score. Even count on Merrifield, 1 ball and 1 strike. Merrifield playing center field in this game. When he first came up, he was regularly a second baseman, but with Nicky Lopez now on the team, one of their top prospects, Merrifield has transitioned to play more of a consistent outfield role. Arias de Sano, that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. So 2 quick outs for Barrios. And that'll bring up the switch hitting shortstop Adalberto Mondesi. Mondesi will bat from the left side against Barrios. But Mondesi came up as a second baseman and transitioned to play shortstop. He's pretty good defensively. Already mentioned that he's a quick runner. A plus runner. He has 14 stolen bases. That's the most among American League players to this point this season.
Nope. Inside, ball 2.
He hasn't hit too consistently this year. His average is close to 200. And just 2 home runs for him and 10 RBIs. Counts 3-0. Jorge Soler's on deck. One of the best run producers in baseball. Produced both the runs that the Royals have in this game so far. 3-0 pitch. That's ball 4. Just missed outside, and that looked like it was around the same pitch that Mondesi got rung up on in his first at bat, but that same pitch earns him a walk, so he's on board with 2 outs, and here's Jorge Soler. Soler 1 for 1, hit a 2-run home run in the first inning, and seeing as you're good at deducting numbers there, that home run was the only runs that the Royals have scored to this point. That's a strike, counts 0-1. Soler, the designated hitter, naturally an outfielder if he were to play a position. Back safely is Mondesi, the league leader in stolen bases. But Soler is now at 58 RBIs. He takes strike 2, but those 58 RBIs he has are now good for 3rd best among American League players. He passed Josh Donaldson, who's on the Twins. And Nelson Cruz, for that matter. His 21 home runs are now good for 5th best among American League players. He's tied with J.D. Martinez for that 5th spot. Oh, 2 pitch. That's fouled off. Count still 0-2. But Soler has established himself as one of the bigger power threats in the American League. Barrios keeping an eye on Mondesi. He's ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes, but still afraid Mondesi's going to swipe a base on him. 0-2 pitch. That's fouled off, and His plate appearance extended a bit. Berrios still way ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That's fouled off. Another 0-2 pitch coming. He chased that off-speed pitch, but found a way to get his bat on it. Count still 0-2. Too far outside. The count's 1-2 on the designated hitter of the Royals. Adalberto Mondesi's on first base. He walked with 2 outs. And another pickoff attempt. It is reasonable to keep tabs on Mondesi over at first base. Like mentioned before, he's the league leader in stolen bases. And another pitch fouled off by Soler. Swing and a miss. That one was the one that got him to chase and miss. With that, the 3rd inning's over. The Royals get a runner on from a hit, but leave that runner on base and fail to score. After 3 full innings, it's the Royals 2 and the Twins 1. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Middle of the order to it for the Twins in this half inning. Josh Donaldson, Eddie Rosario, and Miguel Sano. This game right now favoring the Royals by a run. The Twins scored in the 1st inning, and this man drove it in. Nelson Cruz hit an infield single, then Josh Donaldson doubled him home. But the Royals responded almost immediately in the bottom of the 1st inning when Whit Merrifield got a single, stole second, and then scored on a Jorge Soler home run. No ball, 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Jacob Junis gets Josh Donaldson to strike out swinging. That's the first out of the top of the 4th inning. There's great action on that off-speed pitch. Donaldson couldn't hit it. So with 1 out, here's Eddie Rosario. Rosario lined out in the 1st inning. Batting for the 2nd time against Junis, who has settled down since that 1st inning. And the same could be said for Berrios. All runs from both teams were scored in the 1st inning. Jacob Junis is on the mound in position to earn his 10th loss. His record is 1-9 entering play. Of course, he's trying to avoid that. And his offense has backed him up so far. But he has an ERA into the 8s. Jose Berrios, not as bad of an ERA, but Jose Berrios entering play had an ERA over 5. Nicky Lopez to Ryan O'Hearn. That's out number 1. And the shift works out for the Royals there. 2 outs, top of the 4th.
The first baseman, Miguel Sano.
So with 2 outs, here comes Miguel Sano. Sano struck out in the 2nd inning, getting his 2nd plate appearance in here. That pitch misses up high, counts 1-0. Sano over the last 5 games has scored 5 times. That's a strike, counts even 1-1. 2 outs, top of the 4th, base is empty for the Twins. And Sano down in the count. It's 1-2. Swing and a miss. Top of the 4th inning comes to an end with a strikeout. 3.5 innings have been played here at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals lead the Twins 2-1 going to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. She's Heidi Watney. My microphone works. Hers doesn't. But coming to the bottom of the fourth inning, the Royals have a 2-1 lead. And while we watch Ryan O'Hearn swing a bat, I'd just like to remind you that you could subscribe to the YouTube channel to get notifications about when we go live and when we upload videos. And when you get notifications, you can see if your favorite team is being featured on any given day. And you can also follow our Twitter page at VirtualMLB's the handle, where videos posted from YouTube are also posted on Twitter, and we also give you trade updates, transaction updates, and injury updates on Twitter, as well as having the physical schedule posted.
1-0.
So check them both out. Hunter Dozier leading off for the Royals in this bottom of the fourth inning. Also, if you're watching this game now and you want to dig into the live chat and say your piece about issues going on around real Major League Baseball right now, or you want a shout out, you can certainly request one of those. But if you have a question that you want to put in the chat, if you have a discussion topic you want to put in the chat, if you just want a shout out, go ahead and do it. Feel free. So Hunter Dozier just popped out to Miguel Sano. Now here is Ryan O'Hearn. Takes ball one from Jose Barrios. So as we enter the fourth inning, and with the Twins losing, I think it's prominent to mention now that the Twins have won 9 of 10 games so far in June that they've played.
That's ball 2.
Again, this Twins team went 24-5 in the month of May. They got hot, and they've stayed hot. They're the only 50-game winner to this point in the season. And right now, a Royals team that has one of the worst records in Major League Baseball is beating them by a run, still relatively early. But just a notable fact that the Twins have been hot. But the Royals are winning. Three-two pitch. Up the middle. The shift helping the Twins. Polanco able to make that play. That's more difficult than Polanco made it look. They had to make a backhanded play. His weight was taking him one way. He had to try to throw another. Weird release point, too, but he's able to make the play. So with 2 outs, here's Alex Gordon, the number 6 hitter. Gordon, like we talked about, one of the most tenured Royals. Still active on the team. Him and Salvador Perez have been around for quite a while. They're the only 2 members of the position players left that were a part of that 2015 World Series winning team. And both are iconic players. Gordon hasn't had great numbers over the last few seasons, but he's still in a Royals uniform, and fans still appreciate him and what he's done in the past. One, two's outside, counts even now, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Ooh, it hit him. Breaking ball got away from Barrios, so the Royals get a 2-out base runner.
Third baseman, number 7.
That'll bring up Michael Franco, who's 0 for 1. I see a couple comments. I'll address those in the live chat, but the White Sox were the leaders in the AL Central, so the Twins could easily win the division, but they could also become extremely cold. That's happened in years past. But I also know that the White Sox were hot in the months of April and May, but the Twins just got extremely hot and were able to take the lead. And then coming into June, the White Sox got cold, so it's an 8.5 game gap between the White Sox and Twins now for first place. And the Royals are in rebuild mode. It's possible that Merrifield or Soler could get traded, but I also feel like there's still foundational players on this team. I mean, both of them haven't been around for more than 5 seasons, so I don't see why they couldn't be a part of the rebuilding process. But if you're looking toward the future, getting any prospects could be a good thing. Of course, that's yet to be seen. That is true. It's already June. The trade deadline coming up soon. And, well, forget about the trade deadline for just a second because that ball is long gone. Maikel Franco with a 2-run home run, and the Royals have extended their lead. It is 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, not a good look for Berrios right now. He hit Gordon after he got ahead in the count. And then Franco turned on this pitch. See how far that one went. Toward the back rows. That went over the Twins bullpen. So Berrios has given up 4 runs. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here is Cam Gallagher. The Royals got 2 in the 1st inning, and they now have 2 here in the 4th inning. Still not over yet. But it's a 3-run lead now. One ball, no strike pitch. High in the zone, but called a strike. Counts even 1-1. Cam Gallagher yesterday went 0 for 3 for the Royals. Fouled off, counts 1-2. This is game 1 of a 3-game weekend series between these two teams. A game that will directly impact each other because they're both a part of the AL Central. They're both in the same division. Counts even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still 2 outs and 2 runs in for the Royals in this inning. Tapped on the ground right side. Arias gloves it. Throws to Sano. Gallagher's out at first. And the 4th inning is over. But Maikel Franco has bolstered the Royals' lead. He hit this 2-run home run, and it's now 4-1. The Royals lead by 3 going to the 5th. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Don't forget while you're watching this game, maybe these two teams aren't your favorite teams, but nothing to worry about because on MLB's virtual network, we have 3 guaranteed games every day. Minus this past Monday because there are only 2 games played throughout Major League Baseball, but we guarantee you 3 games every day, and that's just in an effort to make sure that every team around Major League Baseball is featured at least once. So check the schedule, see when your team is featured, and then tune in. Also, if your favorite team isn't featured on a given day, you can check out our results and standings update. It's posted on Twitter at the end of every day, and it's also part of one of our sections on our YouTube homepage, results and standings update. You can check that. We go over scores of every game played through every day. Mondesi with a flashy play. That's out number 1.
Now batting, the catcher.
But we recap the scores of every game played throughout every day. We also go over standings at the end of every day and the league leaders after every day, so you can stay up to date with some of the most prominent information that you care about. So it's not just about one team, or it's not just about putting on games. It's making sure you have something to follow and something you can get invested in and enjoy. That's the whole point. We're trying to bring you baseball back while real baseball is, well, it's almost coming back. I was about to say, well, it's not here, but of course the union and the owners of the teams can't come to an agreement. I've just been getting notifications. This just coming in from ESPN. Owners and players are still split on pay. They can't come to an agreement on how much players should be paid for this season, and that's why we haven't seen any real baseball yet. It seems that they're fine with where the players are going to play, how they're going to stay safe, and keep their guidelines to avoid themselves of getting COVID-19, but they just can't find out how much players should get paid. And so negotiations are still locked up.
The center fielder, Byron Buxton.
So Jacob Junis issues a 1-out walk to Alex Avila. Now here's Byron Buxton. Jacob Junis just one earned run to this point in the game, and he gave that up in the first inning. Buxton bunts, popped up. Junis makes the play. And there are now 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning.
Now batting.
A rather smart move for the Twins.
Kepler.
That was a win-win if he would have got that down, but unfortunately he popped it up. Top of the order coming up now for the Twins, Max Kepler to the plate. Kepler singled in his last at-bat. A bat's here with a runner on and 2 outs. That's laced into right field. But Dozier able to run it down. And the top of the 5th inning is over. We're about halfway through this game at Kauffman Field, and the Royals have a 4-1 lead over their AL Central opponents, the Minnesota Twins. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 9-1-2 hitters due up in the Royals order. Nicky Lopez, Whit Merrifield, and Adalberto Mondesi. I just realized a heck of a coincidence between these two teams, but first, Sano throws to Barrios, Lopez out at first. But both of these teams have a shortstop batting second that switch hits. Anyway, here's Whit Merrifield. He's 1 for 2. He singled and scored back in the first inning. He's 1 for 2 officially against Jose Barrios, who has been in some trouble. Had a tough first inning, pitched a scoreless second and third inning, but then gave up a second 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Now he's pitching his team down 3 runs. On the ground left side, a diving stop by Donaldson from a knee. Throws to Sano, and out at first is Merrifield. Donaldson was playing in, expecting bunt. Merrifield squared that ball up pretty well. Donaldson was forced to dive, and he was able to glove it and make an accurate throw. So now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning, here's Adalberto Mondesi, switch hitter batting from the left side. Mondesi reached base once on a walk. He's 0 for 1 officially. 1-0 pitch. It's fouled off, counts even 1-1. Mondesi, one of the faster players in Major League Baseball, also a pretty solid defensive shortstop. Leads the league in stolen bases with 14.
That's in. Ball 2.
Jose Barrios kept checking on him after he walked him for that very reason, that he runs well. But still hitless at this point in the game. Counts 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Two-two pitch to the Royal shortstop. Got him to chase. The 5th inning has come to an end. The Royals fail to score. No runs on no hits and nobody left on after 5 full innings. It's the Royals 4 and the Twins 1. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up in the Twins order to begin the 6th inning. Jorge Polanco, Nelson Cruz, and Josh Donaldson. Polanco, a switch hitter batting from the left side. He's 0 for 2, and his average has dropped to .296. That's too high. Counts 1-0. Jacob Junis hasn't given up a run since the first inning. The Royals scored 2 in the first on a 2-run home run by Jorge Soler, and 2 runs in the 4th inning on a Maikel Franco 2-run home run. Now they have a 3-run lead. The Twins were red hot in May. They went 24-5, and they've won 9 of 10 games they've played in June so far. But as this game continues to progress, they're in jeopardy of losing just their 2nd game in the month. Game's still not out of hand, though, but the Royals performing well for a team that has one of the worst records in Major League Baseball. 2-2 pitch. Line drive into right field. That's a base hit. Jorge Polanco leads off the 6th inning with a single. And the big boys coming up to bat next. You know, and I say that, too, the big boys, just because Nelson Cruz and Josh Donaldson are established as power hitters throughout Major League Baseball. They've been established as that. That's rocked foul, counts 0-1, but this is a Twins team that set a single season record for home runs as a whole team last season. The Twins are also, this year the Twins also lead Major League Baseball in home runs as a team, just like they did last year. Cruz lines that one out to Merrifield. That's out number 1.
Now batting, third baseman, Josh.
But everybody on this Twins team, minus Luis Arias and Byron Buxton, are capable of hitting home runs and at a consistent pace. Josh Donaldson up to the plate. One of the RBI leaders in the American League. He's also one of the top home run hitters in the American League. Josh Donaldson is tied for third best with 22 home runs. He's tied with Oakland's Chris Davis with 22. The league leader is Justin Upton, who has 24. It's outside, count is 1-0. Josh Donaldson, third best in the American League with 58 RBIs, and he got his 58th RBI in this game. He hit an RBI double in the first inning. That's the only run the Twins have scored to this point. One ball, no strike pitch. That's upstairs, counts 2-0. Yeah, Alex Avila's tricky. I would consider him more of a power hitter, though, if he had a strength in his game in his veteran years, because he still has some pop in his bat. He just hasn't been able to display it so much this year because he only started consistently about a month ago after Mitch Garver got traded. Garver definitely would have fit that bill because of his breakout year he had last year, but yeah, I guess Avila could go either way. Counts 3-1. Donaldson still ahead in the count, and it's a hitter's count for him. Polanco on first base, and that's ball 4. So Jacob Junis has set the Twins up to score some runs. Polanco on second, Donaldson on first. Here's Eddie Rosario. In a spot that may prove to be pivotal in this game. Still nobody up in the Royals bullpen, so they're trusting Junis to pitch through this 6th inning at this moment. That just missed, counts 1-0. Polanco singled, he's on second, Donaldson walked. He's on first, and Rosario already ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Ooh, well ahead of that. That was a fastball. 92-mile-per-hour fastball he was ahead of. Don't see that very often. Counts even 1-1. Rosario, the left fielder of the Twins. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off, and Junis ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Twins are a home run away from tying this game, but also a ground ball away from coming up empty in the 6th. Ground ball, diving stop by Lopez, but he has no play. The bases are loaded for the Twins with 1 out.
The first baseman, number 22, Miguel.
And with that, a mound visit coming to Jacob Junis. After giving up that run in the first inning, he's pitched cleanly, gotten out of innings, limited base runners. But now in the 6th, the Twins are threatening. The bases are loaded. 1 out, here's Miguel Sano. A single player in this situation that could tip the balance of the game with 1 swing. Sano struck out twice, though, against Junis. Polanco on third base, Donaldson on second, Rosario on first. Sano down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Sano just a 190 hitter with runners in scoring position this season. No balls, 2 strikes. Doesn't chase that pitch, counts 1-2. One-two pitch from Junis. Got him to chase it. And Sano has the hat trick. 3 of the 4 Jacob Junis strikeouts were because of Miguel Sano.
Araya.
So a much different situation now. The Twins still with the threat, though. The base is loaded, but a little less pressure. There are 2 outs now. Araya is 0 for 2. Fouls that pitch off for strike 1. Araya has made some good contact in his first 2 at-bats. Just couldn't evade the fielders. No ball, 1 strike pitch. That's a little low and inside. Count is even 1-1. Well, the good news for the Royals is the bottom of the order is coming up, but the bad news is there's nobody left to put them. But any more of these hitters. 2-1's the count. Although Arias doesn't have consistent power, doesn't hit home runs at a rapid pace, he still knows how to come through in the clutch, and he does make solid contact, and there's an example of that. It didn't evade Mondesi, though. The throw to O'Hearn is in time. What a great play by Mondesi. Prevents the Twins from scoring after getting the bases loaded in the top of the 6th inning. After 5.5, it's the Royals 4 and the Twins 1.
Your attention, please.
Tyler Clippard comes out of the bullpen to pitch for the Twins in the bottom of the 6th inning. Clippard has a 183 earned run average. He's making his 31st appearance of the season. 3, 4, 5 hitters do it for the Royals in this half inning. Jorge Soler, Hunter Dozier, and Ryan O'Hearn. Soler 1 for 2, but he had a big 2-run home run in the first inning that gave the Royals the lead. And they've later expanded upon that. Maikel Franco hit a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. The Twins haven't scored since the 1st inning, and the Royals have been backed by home runs to this point. Counts 1-1. So Jose Barrios went 5 full innings. Went 5 full innings on the mound. Gave up 4 earned runs to the Royals. He's in line for the loss if the Twins can't make a comeback. The Twins have been on such a roll recently, though. They've been doing so well both last month and to start this month. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe it when they lose a game, but right now, as we get into the later portion of this game, it's seeming more and more like they're in trouble at the hands of the Royals. Soler strikes out swinging. That's out number 1. And with that, Hunter Dozier comes up to the plate. Dozier is 0 for 2. Not producing much out of the cleanup spot in this order. Dozier also 1 for 6 against Tyler Clippard in his career. Double barrel action. Scott Alexander and Cody Stashak warming up. Minus Taylor Rogers, who had struggled being the closer of this team starting the season, this Twins bullpen has been rather elite. A lot of quality, reliable arms. That's chopped in front of the plate. Avila throws to Sano. That's out number 2 in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting, number 66.
See a lot of Gordon jerseys in the middle of that crowd there. So with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, here's Ryan O'Hearn. O'Hearn is 0 for 2. But the Twins pitching staff has been bolstered. As that's a strike, counts 0-1. The rotation has gotten bolstered as well as their whole pitching staff has. Taylor Rogers got sent down to the minor leagues. He lost his closer's job, but then the Twins had activated some players from the injured list. A couple of starting pitchers. Homer Bailey came off the injured list, as did Rich Hill, who started the year on the IL. But now both Hill and Bailey are in the starting rotation to join Kenta Maeda, Jake Odorizzi, and Jose Barrios. Strike 3 swinging. Ryan O'Hearn goes down. That ends the 6th inning. The Royals get no runs, no hits, and leave no runners on base. Last third of this ball game coming up. It's the Royals 4 and the Twins 1.
Leading off for the Twins.
You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Alex Avila, the first to bat. 8-9-1 hitters do it for the Twins. Avila, Buxton, and Kepler. It's ball one. Jacob Junis is still on the mound, and despite loading the bases last inning, he's out here for the 7th. Trevor Rosenthal and Kevin McCarthy now warming up in the Royals bullpen. With Junis being trusted at the moment to finish off this 7th inning and most likely turn it over to the bullpen for the last 2 innings. Last time he gave up a run was in the 1st inning. Other than that, he's pitched a near flawless game. Had a hiccup in the 6th inning. The Twins loaded the bases, but he got out of that jam without letting up any runs. Crowded into the shift. There's Nicky Lopez. Throws to Ryan O'Hearn. And that's out number 1.
The center fielder, number 25.
So 1 out, top of the 7th inning. That'll bring up the bottom of the order hitter, Byron Buxton, coming up to the plate. Buxton is 0 for 2. He lined out and grounded out in this game. And I don't know which one was the line out or the ground out, but he tried to bunt in his last at bat, but popped out to Junis on the mound. No ball, 1 strike pitch. That's outside. Count is even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Junis working up toward 90 pitches now. Been throwing a quality game, and his offense has backed him up. Jorge Soler hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 1st inning, and Maikel Franco hit a 2-run home run of his own in the bottom of the 4th inning. Out to center field, Whit Merrifield makes the catch. 2 quick outs in the top of the 7th.
Up next for the Twins, the right fielder.
So the top of the order coming up for the Twins now with 2 outs. It's Max Kepler. Trevor Rosenthal got sat down. Ian Kennedy, the closer, now warming up. Kepler singled for his only hit. He's 1 for 3 in total as he hits that pitch against the shift. Out to left center field, and that ball will one-hop the wall. Gordon will get it in quickly to Mondesi. 2-out double for the Twins. Max Kepler now on second base, his 13th double of the season.
Jorge Polanco.
And so we'll see what that holds for Junis' future. He will stay in this game. Jorge Polanco up to the plate. 1 for 3 with a single. That's ball 1. Polanco, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. Dangerous move by Mike Matheny. So Polanco reaches the middle of the orders to up to bat next. Line toward center field, but caught by Mondesi before it gets there.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join.
So the Royals work around a 2-out double, and the Twins fail to score at the top of the 7th inning, but it's stretch time here at Kauffman Stadium. It's 4-1. The Royals lead the Twins. 6, 7, 8 hitters do it for the Royals as we begin this half inning.
The left fielder.
Alex Gordon, Maikel Franco, and Cam Gallagher all scheduled to bat. But you're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. This is game 1 of our 3 featured games of the day. The Marlins are playing the Giants at 7:05 Eastern Time. And the Diamondbacks are playing the Padres, an NL West matchup. That game's scheduled to start at 9:20 Eastern Time. This is our only American League game of the day, as that's on the ground right side. Played by Arias, throws to Sano. And that's 1 out to begin the bottom of the 7th.
The third baseman, number 7, Maikel Franco.
So with 1 out, here's Maikel Franco. His first hit of the game was a rather important one, looking back on it now, but this was a 2-run home run he hit in the bottom of the 4th inning. It extended the Royals' lead from 1 to 3 runs. It was the last time either team scored in this game. But no bat here with the bases empty and one out against the new pitcher in Tyler Clippard. Counts 0-1. Also, this is game one of a 3-game weekend series between these two teams. This is an AL Central divisional matchup. Counts quickly 0-2. And the Royals, who are 5th in the American League Central, are beating the first place team. 0-2 pitch. Ripped down the left field line, and that crosses into foul territory. No ball, 2-strike pitch. Inside, counts 1-2. Look at the pattern in the clouds there. This is quite a beautiful night in Kansas City. A few clouds in the sky with a hue mixed with blue and pink in it. It's a beautiful night for baseball. No extreme weather conditions have affected any part of this game. That's fouled off. Count still 1-2. One ball, 2-strike pitch. Coming again. Too far outside. Counts even 2-2. Clippard up to 20 pitches now out of the bullpen. A little more of a load than he's been used to. 2-2 pitch. Got him to chase. That's out number 2. A well-placed pitch low in the zone. That'll bring up Cam Gallagher. 2 outs. Bases empty, and he's 0 for 2. Cam Gallagher, the fill-in for Salvador Perez, while Perez is on the injured list. And Perez won't be back till at least mid-July. Maybe a little bit longer. But he's had knee problems. He also had some problems last season, too. That was one of the reasons why the Royals signed Martin Maldonado in free agency in the 2018-19 offseason, was to have a catcher, somebody who's a veteran that could handle the backstop position. And Perez came back, and Maldonado got traded back to the Astros, but Salvador Perez was healthy to start this year, but got hurt again. That's why Gallagher's the starter. He's down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's fouled off. Count still 1-2. One-two pitch. Sharp ground ball played by Arias. Throws to Sano. That's out number 3, and the 7th inning has come to an end. The Royals get no runs on no hits and leave no runners on base after 7 full innings played at Kauffman Stadium. It's the Royals 4 and the Twins 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Trevor Rosenthal comes out of the bullpen. A no pitch for the Royals in the 8th inning. This is his 8th appearance. He's pitched in just 5 innings with the Royals this year and has an ERA of 3.60. Trevor Rosenthal made his debut in 2012 with the St. Louis Cardinals. And he was one of the top closers in baseball for a few years. Had a brief stint with the Washington Nationals and started this year in the minor leagues, but the Royals have decided to call him up. They need a veteran presence in their bullpen, and Rosenthal fits that. Rosenthal struggled in recent years, didn't put up great numbers with the Nationals when he was there, but trying to start over again with the Royals and earn his way back to being one of the top relievers in baseball. And that's also true Eric Ledford. Eric Ledford, one of our Cardinal fans in the live chat. But yeah, Mike Matheny and Trevor Rosenthal having a reunion in Kansas City. Mike Matheny now the manager and Rosenthal on the Major League roster. Nelson Cruz sat down after grounding out. And with that, we'll take a look at Jacob Junis's line score. In 7 innings, gave up 7 hits and 1 earned run, walked 2, struck out 4. Not a special outing, but one that certainly deserves a quality start. And since his offense backed him up, he's in line for the win. The Royals have a 4-1 lead with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. And the most dangerous part of this order, up to bat now. Josh Donaldson batting with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. And the base is empty. Nelson Cruz just grounded out. Counts even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Don't forget you are watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game and all of our games brought to you by MLB The Show 20. We mean that in a sponsorship way, but also if MLB The Show 20 weren't around, we wouldn't have such great simulations. And I'm Nicholas Callis. Sometimes I pop in and give live commentary day to day, just depending on what games I'm available to do. But other than that, Matt Vasgersian, Dan Plesac, and Mark DeRosa are the other broadcast team because they're in the game. Three ball, 2 strike pitch, 1 out, base is empty. Josh Donaldson up to bat. Ground ball right side, played by Nicky Lopez. He throws to Ryan O'Hearn. That's out number 2. So 2 outs, top of the 8th. Base is empty. Eddie Rosario is coming up to the plate, but watch this play again. As routine as it gets. Thanks for that replay of the show 20. 2 outs. Eddie Rosario up, 245 hitter now, with 14 home runs and 36 RBIs. Hasn't done much out of the 5 spot in this game. Just 1 for 3. Facing Trevor Rosenthal for the first time in this game.
Nope.
Counts even 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Fouled off. Count now 1-2. The Twins haven't scored since the first inning when Josh Donaldson doubled home Nelson Cruz. 1-2 pitch. Softly hit into the shift, but there might be a Bermuda Triangle there. Not quite. Nicky Lopez able to take charge and make the catch. And the top of the 8th inning is over. The Twins get no runs on no hits and leave no runners on base. It's 4-1 the Royals lead. Look at that line score. The Royals just 4 runs on 3 hits. The Twins have gotten 1 run on 7 hits.
Your attention, please.
Quite a unique score line, but here's Scott Alexander coming out of the bullpen. A no pitch to start the bottom of the 8th. This is his 29th appearance of the season, and he has an ERA of 3.07. Scott Alexander is a former Los Angeles Dodger.
The second baseman.
He was traded to the Twins in the middle of this season. Alexander was acquired as a part of the deal that sent Mitch Garver to the Dodgers. The Twins also got a couple prospects, but out of the 3 players the Twins acquired for Garver, Alexander was the only one that made the Major League roster. And so far he's done well in the bullpen for them. You see his ERA just over 3. It's a good left-handed arm to have in the bullpen. Donaldson stops it and throws to Sano. That's out number 1. So Nicky Lopez out to start the bottom of the 8th inning, and the top of the order resurfaces for the Royals. Whit Merrifield up to the plate as a couple of arms are now up in the Twins bullpen. Corey Guerin and Cody Stashak. Grounded to the left side. Polanco with a jump throw. Not in time. Merrifield just a bit too quick. But a well-executed effort nonetheless. Whit Merrifield on first base. 1 out. Here's Adalberto Mondesi coming to the plate. Adalberto Mondesi, a switch hitter batting from the right side. Facing Scott Alexander for the first time this game. Mondesi 0 for 2 officially, but he reached base once on a walk earlier in the game. No balls, 1 strike. Nicky Lopez grounded out to start this half inning. And Whit Merrifield goes from first. Throw down from Avila, not in time, and Whit Merrifield has his 2nd stolen base of the game. I don't know if that was quite first move, but he slides in safely. Now he's in scoring position. Adalberto Mondesi down in the count. No ball, 2 strike pitch. Foul tipped into the mitt of Alex Avila. That is a strikeout by rule. And there are now 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Jorge Soler.
So Jorge Soler will come to the plate, and the last time he batted with Whit Merrifield on second base, he hit a 2-run home run. That was back in the first inning. Strike one. Jorge Soler now in the top 3 for runs batted in among American League players. He has 58 RBIs now, and he hit his 21st home run back in the first inning. The Royals have had the lead ever since that home run, though they piled on some insurance. When Michael Franco hit a home run in the bottom of the 4th inning. And neither team has scored since the 4th inning, but the Twins haven't scored since the 1st inning. This is game 1 of a 3-game series, a 3-game weekend series between these two teams at Kauffman Stadium. Swing and a miss. Count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's the pitch from Scott Alexander. Got him to swing and miss. Scott Alexander works around the single and the stolen base. Keeps the Royals scoreless in the 8th. After 8 full innings, it's the Royals 4 and the Twins 1. Last chance for the Twins coming up in the top of the 9th.
Your attention, please.
Here comes Ian Kennedy out of the bullpen. A former starter converted to a closer here in Kansas City. And he's in position to earn his 11th save of the season. This is his 16th appearance. He saved 10 of 14 games for the Royals, so not too solid, but he has an ERA of 5.54, which isn't too great either. Let's see what happens. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up in the Twins' order to begin this 9th inning. Miguel Sano, Luis Arias, and Alex Avila. Sano just 1 for 13 in his career off Ian Kennedy. The Royals are now in position to hand the Twins just their 2nd loss in 11 games played in June. Sano quickly down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes, but the irony of this is that the Royals are in last in the AL Central and the Twins are in first place. Down to the 3rd, there's Franco. Throws to O'Hearn, that's out number 1. Sano grounds out. Luis Arias coming to the plate. But the Twins have been red hot over the last 2 months. And if this score holds up, they'll lose to a team with one of the worst records in Major League Baseball. The Twins have the best record in Major League Baseball. They're the only team in the MLB right now with 50 wins. They're 50-20. So 1-2 count on Arias. Arias is 0 for 3 out of the 7 spot. Got him swinging. That's out number 2. Now the Twins with 1 out to work with. Alex Avila is coming up to the plate. Look at that breaking ball. Just swung over it and missed it. So 2 outs. Alex Avila at the plate. He's 1 for 2. High fly ball at the right field. That ball is gone. Well, a 2-out home run in the 9th inning keeps the Twins still breathing in this game. Avila, his 2nd home run of the year. And that insurance home run by Michael Franco proving to be necessary now, because that home run didn't happen in the 4th inning. This game would be tied right now. Where's Byron Buxton? The number 9 hitter. 0 for 3. Takes ball 1 inside. And Eric Ledford, I remember you said that Alex Avila wasn't a power threat. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. It's okay. I know it's not stereotypically like you wouldn't think of his game being power, but I also am of the opinion that at this stage of his career that is really his game, is to produce to produce runs and hit for power over every other aspect of his game. Chop foul, count is 2-1. Byron Buxton, the center fielder of the Twins. The game's balance is in his hands right now. Yeah, I know it's only 2 home runs. I'm just messing with you. Counts full 3-2, and Max Kepler's on deck. Kepler at this point in the on-deck circle represents the tying run. Full count pitch. Outside ball 4, Ian Kennedy. Got the first 2 hitters out of this inning. But gave up a home run to Alex Avila and just walked Byron Buxton, who's a speed threat. And he's allowed the top of the order to come up in this half inning. Max Kepler to bat. He's 2 for 4 with a single and a double. And with a Twins team that leads all of Major League Baseball teams in home runs. Not a good part of the order to face right now. That's strike 1 at the top of the zone. But the next few hitters in this Twins order have the opportunity to go deep. This is a tense spot. Even though it's a 2-run game, there's a runner on, which makes it tense. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. And the Twins now with 1 strike to work with. Counts 1-2. One ball, 2 strike pitch. Coming from Ian Kennedy, who's still in position to save this game. That's inside, and the count's even 2-2. Two-two pitch. Strike 3 called, well placed over the outside edge. And the Twins were neutralized in Game 1 of this series. They lose 4-2 to the Royals, who can hang their heads high for tonight. They beat not only the number 1 team in their division, but the number 1 team in all of Major League Baseball. The Royals improved to 22-48. They're still in last place. The Twins fall to 50-21. They're still in first. But Game 1 of this 3-game series belongs to the Royals. A team that got 2 two-run home runs. One by Jorge Soler in the first, one by Maikel Franco in the fourth, which helped Jake Junis, the starter, stay in the game. He pitched 7 innings and earned the win. Jose Barrios gave up both the home runs. He got hit with the lots, and Ian Kennedy, though it was a bit shaky there in the 9th inning, he earns the save. Gave up a home run to Alex Avila, but locked down the win and earned his 11th save of the season. So the Twins, in 11 games played in June, they've won 9 of them, but one of their 2 losses was to the Royals. Jacob Junis earned player of the game in this one. He went 7 full innings, gave up 7 hits, but just allowed 1 earned run, which is back in the first inning. And he's the player of the game for having a pretty quality outing in his start. Well, this has been Major League Baseball's Virtual Network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Be sure to subscribe to YouTube if you want notifications on when we go live and when we upload videos. The name, MLB Virtual Network. And check out our Twitter page as well, the handle @VirtualMLB, where you can get more news about this league to stay up to date and follow your favorite team, or just follow the league in its entirety. But again, I'm Nicholas Callis saying so long from Kauffman Stadium. Once again, the final score, the Royals 4 and the Twins 2.